What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into this sad and somber episode of the Chasing Daylight podcast. The American team got their asses whooped over in Rome, much to the surprise of not a lot of people. Even though we did want them to win, they did not come through. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to chat about what happened, how things could change, and was the European team just really freaking good? So we got Joe. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. Yourself?
Oh, dandy, just dandy.
Dandy.
Dan is in the house.
How's it going, everybody?
Hello, sir. And J Mart, how you doing, man?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Hey, still, I'm gonna rep this until they lose again. I mean, it's gonna happen sooner or later. But hey, Rebels 4-1. Woohoo! Week off, and then they're gonna go kick some Reno ass. So
The only team that can win
the Las
the
Vegas
only team that
Stars.
can win inside Allegiant right now.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Raiders aren't doing it. Oh my goodness. That was another shit show for them. Holy. Do we want to get into that?
No.
No?
No.
I think so.
Mhm.
All right. So a little bit of business to take care of course, before we get into the talking. I want to give some thanks to everybody on YouTube hanging out with us. Thank you so much for that. We're doing the shows live on Monday nights. So if you are listening to this on Wednesday, as much as we love that support as well, you could always tune in Monday nights live on YouTube. And then I edit the show and put it out there without all the screw ups, the bleeps, the bangings, the clicks, the oh craps. And that goes out Wednesday afternoon. So yeah, snaps. Want to give a little love to FN3P Golf. They are a show supporter. Down in the show notes for this and our other episodes, there's a link where you can get some discount off their goods. Love those guys. They have some great stuff. And also, we are still running our raffle for the round with us out at Southern Highlands. You can find out details for that on our Instagram account. It's a smoking deal. I'll say that. It's a smoking deal. If you want to get around at a highly exclusive country club in Vegas, in the country, Southern Highlands. It takes place on December 5th. So check out our Instagram page, Chasing Daylight Podcast. And there's a couple, you'll see a couple pictures of So High, and then you can figure out how you can do it. Or send us a message, and I'll tell you how to.
And when are we announcing that?
We are going to announce that on November 13th, live on YouTube. We'll I'll have one of those spinning wheel thingies that you always see on the social media giveaways. So we'll pick that live on the 13th if you want to join in and watch to see if you won, or the broadcast will go out on the 15th. So.
Yeah.
And that's the business side of things. So how much Ryder Cup did you guys watch?
I watched quite a bit, other than like between the times of like 1 a.m. to like 5:30 a.m. But other than that, I was tuned in.
Yeah, the only time I didn't watch was Saturday when we were out at Coyote Springs when it was live. But
that was like the most interesting day.
Yeah, what happened at the end there was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I was texting you guys like, hopefully you watched a bit of this because it got interesting.
We were getting tidbits coming through, and I mean, hats off to the worst media coverage in the history of golf, talking about how the team is ununited and hatgate with the. Oh yeah, speaking of hatgate, that's what we're gonna give away during this episode. So
it was interesting. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's just like the reporting or just people making shit up or like just taking hearsay, but it sounds like a lot of it was just bullshit. Like a lot of the stuff coming out was just I don't know if the team just played it off like it was bullshit, but it sounded like it was one thing after another that was just like trying to get people riled up but from what I could tell, I mean, like Patrick Cantley said, he didn't wear a hat at Whistling Straits. Like, and it was a protest for him not being paid. I find that hard to believe, but it came out, and I don't know, the reporting
like,
just seemed odd.
Like, yeah, it was like breaking news. Patrick Cantley's anti-American moving to
Yeah.
Canada and playing on the Canadian tour because he hates playing for America.
I mean, I would love it because I don't like him very much, but we
love
also
his
need
face.
we need a villain too. Like a villain's great for the game, obviously. And I don't know if that's what they're trying to build up, but
He would be a
it
good
just
villain too because he always wears black. He's got that rat face.
yeah, he's a great villain, but it just seemed like, of course I'm rooting for Patrick Cantley in the Ryder Cup. Like just
Absolutely.
like I'm not a huge fan of Patrick Reed, but man, he got you fired up for things
Captain
like
America
this.
was amazing.
Exactly. It seemed odd. I don't know. I don't know if there's just people just making shit up or what, but it was interesting. And that Saturday made it even more interesting, like the drama, like and the, it was so funny. Like they're answering in the press conference like 2 days in a row, like, oh, so you're getting married because it's not you don't want to tan line, like, and like, where'd you hear that?
Y-
Twitter, you know,
Yeah.
it's just crazy, man.
I thought it was funny when they were like again and again and again, and then Max Homa chimed in and goes, "Hey, look, it's all because he won't wear a hat."
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is because Patrick won't wear a hat.
Yeah. I mean, and speaking of Max, like what a fucking dog, dude. He's a man.
He proved
Love Max
himself in
Homa.
these
Oh yeah,
situations.
totally. Totally.
All right. Oh, Jeremy, you're on mute.
I was just gonna say, didn't Max finish 7-1-0 or 7-0-1 or something like that?
Well, he played in 5
That's
sessions.
his record
So
for Ryder Cup
Oh,
and President's
total.
Cup.
That's gotcha.
He was 3-1-1.
He was the highest earner though.
Yeah, he got 3.5 points.
Yeah.
And I think the next closest American player only got 2.
yeah, good
Mhm.
showing by him, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, he seems like the guy that on the team that would, have that passion for it. It just kind of it oozes out of him.
Did you see Tyler Fade and Fairways post where it said like Max Homa's most recent like X-ray
yeah,
and it had a
pit
chest
bulls
and it
in
was
his-
just pit bulls in his chest. That was so good.
Yeah, it was funny.
He's got the dog in him, man. And
All
I
right.
love how Max gave like hella credit to Joe.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, you're taking a drop here. And that putt that he made, like to even like extend the hopes of US on the final day, like was clutch.
All right.
Big time.
The Ricky concession. What do you think, Dan?
I didn't catch that. I didn't watch much Ryder Cup, so I didn't even know what concession.
Okay. So, who was he playing?
He was playing Fleetwood.
Fleetwood.
It was on
Yeah.
16.
And a tie, or if
Because Ricky was 2 down, right?
Yeah, if Fleetwood makes the putt, a tie was the best that they could do, and that won them the cup basically. And he lagged it up there and had a 3-footer, and Ricky conceded it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you never know when those nerves are going for a clinching putt. Yeah, I'm not giving anybody a 3-footer.
Right before that, McIntyre missed a 12-incher.
Yeah, I don't know what Ricky was thinking there, but maybe he just, it was just the inevitable.
I know what Ricky was thinking.
They were going to lose regardless.
Oh.
But,
I know exactly what
What was
Ricky
he
was thinking.
What? Oh,
I
hang
mean,
on a second.
yeah, you can drop it. Go ahead. He's
I
trying to
can't-
find it. Drop it. Ricky wanted and I don't know if they even announced it yet because I didn't see it. The concession award. The
No,
Nicholas.
that went to Justin Rose.
Oh, well, that's
that-
what he wanted. That's why he did it.
He wouldn't have got it. He played one round of golf.
That's why he did it, though. Ricky just wanted the award. He wanted the concession award.
It's the MVP of the Ryder
they
Cup.
should have gave that to Scotty Scheffler, the concession award. #1 player in the world, not winning a match.
Yeah, not winning a single
9 and
point.
7, getting just
That's
blitzed.
inexcusable. That's straight trash.
Yeah.
So is that the biggest disappointment?
I wouldn't know if it's the biggest disappointment. It's the biggest shock. I would have thought that #1 player in the world. I mean, yeah, he wasn't going in good form, but still, Scotty Scheffler won 5 times, something like that this year. But yeah,
Could have won 10 more times.
yeah.
Too, but
I mean, to get a goose egg and just to leave with nothing but a handful of tears. Rough.
Yeah.
So
Dude just can't putt, dude.
Rough.
He can't
so
putt.
the European players on the DP World Tour, they play a world tour.
Mhm.
They play all over the fucking place. PGA Tour has, we go to Mexico, the Bahamas, Canada. I don't know if we Bermuda, but it's like an American tour. It's not a world tour. The HSBC over in China used to be kind of a big event, and there was when the CJ Cup was overseas, but those aren't happening anymore. So it's an American tour. Are the world rankings is it not a justified system if you're only playing in America and getting points on a world scale?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of other players from across the world have opportunities to come play over here, but you're not playing against the fields of the world,
So
you
better
know, and
fields.
yeah, I mean, we get better fields over here, but and sometimes some of the players go over to the DP and they play in that occasionally, specifically when they're over there for a bigger tournament like the Open. A lot of them play the week before Scottish Open, right?
Scottish Open,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean, they do get around, but like Asian Tour, I saw Sung Jae and who was it? Byung Hun An shot or the Korean team shot like 71 under this weekend to take the title home for that. But I don't know. I mean, I think most of the world's best players do flock to the PGA Tour, and we do have like the cream of the crop for the most part. But there are like scenarios where someone could be playing really well up in Indonesia, and they're over in Australia playing a tournament, and they could get beat in that situation. But I think obviously PGA Tour is the gauge, right? That's the highest. That's the NBA. That's the NFL. So I think it is a good mix of the world, and we do play different areas. I mean, we play
Yeah, I
different
know.
types of grasses,
I look
coastal,
at
but
I
yeah,
look
I
at
mean,
the Solheim Cup, we lost. PGA Junior Ryder Cup or the Junior Ryder Cup, they got throttled. And
well,
this
I think the biggest thing about it, right, when it comes to like Ryder Cup, Solheim Cup, it's hard to win an away game in golf right now.
that's
Like
true.
Rory's comment, like the biggest achievement in golf right now is winning a Ryder Cup away because it hasn't happened in a while.
I don't know. I just still think the best players in the world, if you have them on your team, you should play better. And
Well,
going
this
1-7 an alternate shot. I mean, Jesus Christ, we split that. It's fucking right there.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Zach Johnson was a absolutely terrible coach, right? Like, I think he could have had a little more fire under him. Um, but he's been there before, and there's some confidence there. I think it comes down to his captain's picks because his captain's picks went what 4-11-4 or something.
I'll have to look it up and
The
see.
only captain's pick that showed up was JT. Sam
Yeah.
Burns was garbage, which if you would have just replaced Sam Burns with Keegan, that could have made a huge change. Which Keegan was in a better spot than Sam, I believe, if I remember correctly.
He was.
So if you just put Keegan there instead of Sam Burns, like that could have changed things. And then who was the other captain's picks? I don't even recall. Just JT, Sam Burns, Morikawa.
Morikawa.
Morikawa played pretty
Koepka,
trashy.
Spieth.
Koepka showed up for the most part. I mean, in
Koepka
singles.
had a 1.5. He was the highest score of all the picks.
Yeah. So I think him and Scotty was kind of a bad pairing. But I think it comes down to the captain's picks. I don't know if Zach played favorites with people, but I think he could have placed Keegan in there for sure. I mean, even Cam Young potentially could have done something other than like Morikawa. I mean, who knows who knows, right? But I think Sam Burns should not have played in this Ryder Cup. I like Sam Burns a lot, but he was on a shit streak, and I
Yep.
don't think he should have been there. And then going back to they what was it? 10 of the 12 hadn't played in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard, but I mean,
Yeah. So
and
you
it does
had
mean more to it does mean more to the Europeans.
Colin Morikawa played in 4 matches, had 1 point. Xander Schauffele played in 4 matches, had 1 point. Scotty Scheffler played in 4 matches, had 1 point. Spieth played in 4 matches and had 1 point. I mean, you should expect more than 5 points from those
Totally.
5 players.
I mean, they're top 20 in the world.
Yeah. Patrick Cantley, Brian Harman, and Max Homa were the only guys that got more than 2 points, or they got more than a point.
I think the Homa Harmon pairing was fantastic. I think that was so good.
Yeah, Max went 3-1-1 overall, 1-0 in singles, 1-1 in foursomes, 1-0-1 in 4-ball.
Yeah, and Cantley was just a dog on that Saturday, just birdie in the last 3 holes.
Dude,
I mean, and
and
that
hats
final
off to some
birdie
of
was in the fucking dark. It wasn't as dark as or didn't seem as dark on TV, but it was dark.
Yeah. Rory had 4 points. So he was the leading points of everybody in the event. Terrell Hatton, Victor Hovland had 3.5. But yeah, the Nikolai Hosengarden was the only one that didn't score a full point. He got a half a point.
Yeah, I just think the European team gets more united about that. Like they were saying on TV, like all you got to do is fucking write Sevy's name on
They
a
care more.
chalkboard,
Yeah.
and they're like ready to go, like fired up. It's you need a strong leader for US, and I don't think Zach was that. I think he was decent, but you need someone to light the fire. So I don't know. It all come down to day one. It really comes down to day one. They didn't win a point.
They got lit up.
Mm-hmm.
They got fucking they got murked.
The alternate shot. So it happens. It seems to happen every Ryder Cup. The alternate shot just I don't get it. I don't understand why these guys weren't out playing alternate shot the last 5 weeks just to get used to hitting with somebody else. And I mean,
I think another thing was Zach not putting out like Brooks first. I forget who he put out first, but it was like Sam Burns and like Scotty, right? I think something like that.
Yeah.
He should have put out like Brooks and JT first, because that first match is so critical.
He should put somebody out there that can hit the middle of the fucking fairway. Their tee shot on the first hole. God, how many times were we in the right rough on that hole? Good Lord.
Biggest mistake of the week, not putting out like some dogs in the first group, because that's so critical. But I forget what you're saying. I had another point, but
I'll keep going.
I think that was the biggest mistake of his Ryder Cup for sure.
All right, so
Sam Burns, fucking playing like shit.
I didn't like it at all. So he
actually sat Brooks. He sat Brooks. Brooks didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't play.
Yeah, he only played in 3 matches.
Neither did
I mean,
JT.
I'm not a huge fan of Brooks, but I mean, he's gonna go out there and try and beat people. And I think, like, my family's from Louisiana. No disrespect to Sam Burns, but like, he didn't have it. He didn't have it going in, and he didn't have it at all.
He's not an intimidator.
No,
he's not. He doesn't. He's not someone that's like, he's not going to go your throat like a Koepka, a JT.
Right.
He's just. I mean, he was riding along with Scheffler, and Scheffler didn't do anything.
Yeah, and Scheffler can't putt. I called it, of course. He needs to figure that out. Like, supposedly he's putting the handle higher. Yeah, he's putting the handle higher now, but he misses the ones that need to drop. Like,
well, you know who I think had like the worst putting was Colin Morikawa. He missed everything.
Well, we all know we know that he can miss putts. Like, just like he was playing against who was it? But at Charles Schwab, he had a chance to win the plaid jacket. I had money on him that week.
Yeah.
Berger. and Berger
Oh
won.
yeah, playoff.
Yeah, had money on Colin that week, and he had like a 2-footer and he missed it. So putting woes there.
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler, that chip shot on 18, where all he has to do is well, because Rom didn't birdie that hole, did he? He just
Yeah.
because Scheffler bogeyed
Yes.
it, right? Yeah. So all he has to do is I mean, it was a tough chip. It's not like it was, piece of cake, but Homa did it. He's not the number one player in the world.
Homa
He's
had
not.
one of the best holeouts of the
Oh,
week.
oh,
From that
where he
rough
chipped
on
it
the
in,
side?
walked
Walked
and
it
was
in.
walking it in, shaking hands before it's even in the bottom of the cup.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
epic. That was golf douchebag said, "We may have lost the cup, but we had the ultimate golf douchebag play
Yeah.
of the Ryder Cup."
I mean, the dude John Rahm is draining shit from all over the
Oh my
place that
god!
day.
Almost had an ace, had 2 eagles, birdies. Just
Yeah, it was like Sevi was in his body.
oh goodness.
Jose Maria Thalba was over there, man. Like Sevi is in you.
You can
Dude,
do
he
it
does that shit all the time.
all the time.
Look at what his first win at Torrey Pines. He had like that 70-footer
Oh, yeah.
from behind the green. And then he
Ridiculous.
drains that
He did that in Chicago too
against
against
DJ,
DJ.
that big
DJ.
curler. And then those 2 huge putts.
After
The
DJ
2
made
huge
one.
putts he made at the
Yeah.
US Open at Torrey Pines.
Yep.
On 16 and 18, the left to righters.
You can't fuck with John Rahm on
it's
left
just
riders.
He gets up for these big events.
But not
he gets
only
up for 'em.
that, it's like that guy literally has shots. Like he's strong off the tee. He can flag anything. He's got a great short game. He chips
Yeah.
in all the
Can
time.
kill it out of the rough.
You know what I mean?
He's also got a club foot
Yeah.
too.
Maybe that's the key.
Taking
I
a
am.
baseball to my leg currently.
I'm gonna go get named real quick and play the best golf of my life.
Okay, so I posted on Instagram. I wanted to hear everybody's thoughts on it, and said that we'd be giving away this hat to the person that we decide has the best take on this.
By the way, Chris Perez in the chat, Mark's in the chat. Shout out
Hey,
you
what's up,
guys.
fellas? Yeah, day one was a disaster, Chris. You're right. Absolute disaster. And strong hat game. I love it. All right. So I'll just read these down. You guys may have seen them, so you may know who it is. But we'll go down the list here, just starting from the newest first. It says, appears to me that you guys, and I believe she is referring to the American team, are still individuals. Maybe appoint a consultant coach from outside the U.S. to get a different perspective. Just a thought. Next one. Captain's picks stunk. If there was a point system that scored everything equally, almost like an official world golf ranking. Heard that before. Great job by Live Golf watering down American golf. It's working. Can't get swept in first matches. Doesn't help Rom chips in 3 times and dunks an eagle putt. USA needs to get momentum earlier and quit trying to talk trash a la La Cava. Let your dang clubs do the talking and keep the lip wedges in the bag.
I don't like that one.
You like that one?
I don't like that one.
Oh, you don't like that one?
Nope.
Why?
Ryder Cup's about lip, man. It's emotion.
All right. 0 full points day 1. Fighting illness. Some players didn't have practice rounds. Stagnant players over 5 weeks. The U.S. beats themselves. The boys' club needs to be blown up and other players be thrown in the mix, i.e. Keegan and Bryson DeChambeau. Also, Tiger Woods needs to take over the captaincy. Eric
He
Greenlee
will at
said,
some point.
Eric Greenlee said, I told you. Does that count? And then let's see. Thoughts. Captain's picks were terrible. ZJ doing nothing to fire them up after Friday was the minute I knew we stood no chance. Europe was in better form and it showed. USA does not know how to play together, and that showed in foursomes greatly. All in all, the performance I expected for a Road Ryder Cup, but I'm upset to see it. And last one, 9 out of 12 players didn't play for 5 weeks before the Cup. No chance to play well with this lack of preparation. Team USA should be in Europe 2 weeks before and get those boys on the DP Tour event for prep. Need a total new strategy for 2027. And then I'm gonna throw another one in here because it was a message, and I told this person to post this, but they didn't. One, no talks about the ball. However, it forces too many pairings and foursomes. Need some guys to play a ball that's the best pair. 2, captain's picks perform terrible. The stories of how close his team are hide the lack of accountability. Forgot. Live. Give me Patrick Reed and Dustin Johnson on this team. 3, taking 5 weeks off will get the attention, but it was better pairings in the first day AM matches on the Europe side. Forget the buddy pairings.
Sounds like Adam, no?
No.
No, I think that was.
Oh, you can say it. Doesn't
I
matter.
guess that was Cyrus.
Nope.
No,
Oh.
Cyrus had a comment. He posted on it.
That was Cliff.
Okay.
Mr. Pasatiempo.
I also don't like the buddy things. I think it's like by default you're putting Xander and Patrick, which they have performed, but when it doesn't work, you break it up.
Well, they were 5-0 or something before this, right?
Yeah, going into it, and then
he's
it
like,
was
well, that
the
just
opposite.
says that it's fucking not going to work anymore. It's like streaks end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except 30 years not winning in Europe. That's a pretty good streak.
It'll end eventually.
Yeah, I hope so.
No, I think the first comment was my favorite. I think unite, like, USA is definitely not as united as Europe. Europe, like I said, like, they decked out the locker room and it's like a picture of Sevi, and it's like literally all they gotta do is say fucking Sevi Ballesteros, and they're like, yes, let's fucking go, And I think it means more to them than it does the US team. And I think that's what it really comes down to, is like the Ryder Cup means more to the European players than it does the USA team. Like, USA obviously wants to win, of course, like they want to win the golf tournament, but to Europe, it's like an emotion, and it's like a privilege to play in it. It is, if you're on like a losing Ryder Cup team, if you're European, you feel like shit. Not saying it doesn't feel like shit if you're US, but I feel like it stings a lot more for the Europeans if they lose or if they win. And I think it's like the heart behind it on that side of the pond where it gets them more fired up than US gets.
This could be a hot take. I got a hot take.
I'm ready.
I totally agree. I think comment 1 is the winner. But I think when Tiger was in his prime and he was playing in Ryder Cups, even though Tiger was the dominant one, it was still a team. Like, you had all the other players, and it was like role players. Like, Europe has always been strategic about who they're picking, who they're playing. The US doesn't. It seems like there's no strategy. It might have been just this year, because I don't remember super, detailed about all the other ones. But
yeah, it seemed a little off this year.
Yeah, it seemed random.
Yeah.
And before, like when you'd have DJ and you'd have Brooks and you'd have all these other players that had a lot of experience, you put them with these certain players. This one it's like we just randomly chose the 2 people and just threw them in order from, first tee time to last. So I think,
it seemed like there wasn't a lot of thought behind it.
Yeah, I think that you're right. I think it is more important to Europe because I think it's a team thing for them. For us, it's an individual thing. It's every player for themselves is sort of what it feels like. And I don't know
if that's why we show up for singles.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, and this is the hot take part, because the PGA Tour is blown up, purses are massive, players, it's more exclusive. Some of the events, it's all for yourself. Whereas maybe that's pushed people to not care much about the team stuff. It's mostly about themselves.
It's an individual mentality to play on the PGA Tour.
But again, I mean, tons of those guys play the PGA Tour regularly, so it's from the DP World Tour.
That's true.
So
I mean,
don't know. It just something's odd about it.
I just think
McIntyre
for European Tour, it just
Postgard.
unites them. Like,
Mhm.
and the US doesn't get united as tightly as the Europeans do.
Yeah.
We need Tiger. We need reunite. We need MJ as a co-captain. We need Tiger.
Yeah.
We need
Brandy
Lance
Man,
Armstrong. We need Carl Lewis.
Carl.
We need all those famous. Let's get all the
Mike,
motivational sport athletes of history, and let's make them the captains.
Did you see the thing about we need Deion Sanders to coach?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And we need Deion Sanders.
And Deion Sanders. I did see a Deion Sanders out there. That would be hilarious.
I don't see it changing though. That's the crappy part. It's just unless once the whole live thing figures itself out and everyone's happy and playing together again, seems like it's going to be it's going to be a rerun next time.
I think we're gonna see a European win at Bethpage. Like I feel it. I don't know for
Ooh.
sure, but
Ooh.
I can see it.
Oh,
Not saying it's
dude.
for sure. I mean, and there's 2 years of golf to play where these rankings could change.
Oh, of
And
course.
who knows who did they didn't release the captains for next time, but
No, not yet.
I just see like Bethpage being a spot where Euro could win. Not saying they're going to. I'm not Eric Greenlee, fucking psychic ass motherfucker. I'm just saying I could see it happening. And speaking of Bethpage Black, we should probably, I know Dan sent me the video of like, we should probably try and do that. We should probably try and go up there, play some New York golf.
See, there's that secret text chat with the golf trips with just Joe and Dan.
Golf
excluding
Minati.
Everybody else.
Golf Minati.
No.
If you want to join the Golf Minati, send us a DM. It's $10 a month. You can send it on Patreon. We send secret text.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Golf Minati.
So you think the Europeans can? So what happened in Whistling Strait? Why did we absolutely whoop their ass at Whistling Strait? Was it the golf course?
It felt like
No, I
everyone
think
was
it-
rallied together to me.
I think it was a team. It felt like a team. This time it did not feel like a team. Like I know they were saying like this is the most united team ever, but
So do we blame that on Zach Johnson and his picks?
I think it was the picks. I think
Somebody
it comes down to
somebody has to take the fall for it, right? I mean, the players are the players, and they
and
you know,
at some point they have to show up and play golf, right?
yes.
So I think it was the picks.
But I don't think
I
it's
think
the
it could've-
picks that don't make them a team. I think the picks were just players that were off. But I mean, sure, like Keegan, he may have been a team player and been able to, get people going and rallying them, whatever, but none of them were playing
Could you
good.
imagine? Could you imagine Keegan in the locker room after getting freaking rattled and railed in the morning?
And that's what you need.
Yeah, and that's
Like
what and
JT's the only one I could see being in there. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, let's get this shit together. And if he had
I
backer
could
like
see
Keegan, like a team, like I think he could have got fired.
where I
fired up.
see they get railed in the morning, and you go in and Brooks is on his phone chatting with his chick in a bikini, counting their money. Just could care less. I don't know. I said that in that text chat with Joe and everybody that's in that Instagram chat. Is I know Brooks wants to win. I know he doesn't like to lose, but I still think if he loses, it doesn't bother him. And I think you have to hate losing more than you love winning. And there's a lot of guys on that team, I feel, that, hey, we didn't win. Okay. And you have that passion, like with a player like Keegan, where it just wrecked him, and you need to have that fire.
Yeah. We're going to see Tiger at some point. I think we need to see Tiger at the next European Ryder Cup, because Tiger's one of those guys that will unite these guys, and he'll make the right picks. He don't care if we're buddies or what, but he's going to want to win. And I think that will be the one where it flips.
Who else do we have besides Tiger? If you think about it, like no disrespect to Zach Johnson. I've always liked him as a player and all that, but
Justin Leonard,
it was a sleeper. Like it just didn't feel like Zach Johnson was the guy to me.
I think he was just like he's a little too quiet, right? Like
he's like Steve
too
Stricker.
methodical. Yeah, he's like super methodical, but he doesn't express himself well enough. I mean, who was the assistant captains? It was Sink. Furyk was out there. Couples.
Steve Stricker, Davis Love III, Jim Furyk, vomit on the golf course. Jim Furyk, Freddie Couples, and Stuart Sink.
Yeah.
vomit on the
But
golf
who else
course.
is there?
It's-
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's hard to see. Like,
Oh, when Furyk lost the Ryder Cup and he just bent over and it looked like he was going to hurl. That I have that image saved in my brain. Just
I mean, the only one that hasn't captained is Sink, right?
well, Freddie's done the President Cup. He's never done the Ryder Cup.
Oh, okay.
He's only been a vice captain,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't know who. I don't really know who else there is. I mean,
Justin Leonard is a good one.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's a
history.
passionate American guy.
Yeah.
How about Brandel Chambly?
I
Would
was
that-
actually thinking that, and I didn't want to say it. So
Would that not be? I mean, the guy who can
he
criticize.
would have the stats. He would have the
He
stats.
would have the stats.
Yeah.
He would have the stats. And
I
he'd
would
be,
love. I would love to see that.
guys, they're gonna whoop you in every facet of the game. So good luck.
I actually would love to see that. Like, just to
He
see
would be
how
passionate
deep
about
yeah,
it.
Totally, he would. 100%.
So Tiger, Justin
Yeah,
Leonard,
Phil.
Brandel.
Chris Perez said Phil lost his shot, and that was one that obviously is
Yeah, Phil
Yep.
should have definitely. That was
Yeah.
his course.
depending on how this all plays out. But yeah, Phil would have been a good one.
Do you think we'll ever see Phil? Do you think down the road when stuff is? You don't think so? You think he's done?
I think it just depends on how things play out. I don't know. I think
I
I think there's a possibility. I don't think it's definitely not in the bag. There's
I
a
think we could see
possibility, but-
Tiger and Phil do a co-captain. I think that
Phil
could happen.
is a 10-teamer away from never being seen again.
I don't know. I think he's done a lot for golf. Been around a long time. He's a well-known name. You know, if they get desperate.
Whoa. Mark just said looks like Furyk is next year's President's Cup captain. Shut up. Oh, President's Cup. President's Cup.
yeah.
Never mind. All right.
Yeah, we'll win
Yeah.
President's Cup.
I care less about President's Cup.
I enjoy.
We don't
watching
care
it,
about
but
that until it's on TV.
I think Anthony Kim needs to come back and just be the captain of the Ryder Cup.
Oh, wow. I wonder if that would void his contract.
I think that's passed. That's expired.
Oh, has it?
I think so.
Well, the reports of him being in Live kind of
Yeah,
fluttered away quickly.
yeah.
That was exciting. Okay, so that'll wrap up our Ryder Cup. We'll debate who we think. I think everybody kind of agreed with that first comment. So that was right. Did anybody else have anything else that they thought was better than that one?
They were
I
all
think that was the one.
phenomenal, honestly.
Yeah,
they were all phenomenal?
Great comments, everybody.
Great comments. Okay, so we'll decide afterwards. And
Yeah,
I'll
I don't know
send
who
you-
that was. Who was
I'll
it?
send you a message. No, bring my phone back out. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Let's see. It was Tiffany Rough Diamond.
Ooh.
6-foot blonde bombshell. I'm the one your mother warned you about.
Oh, geez. I hope is that a spam account? Sounds like a spam account.
It sounds
no,
like a spam account, right?
A spam account's not going to post some shit like that.
Yeah.
So
But
Yeah.
but I was like reading it. I'm like, it appears you guys are still individuals. I thought they were like talking to the podcast, not
yeah.
the team. Maybe appoint a consulting coach from outside the. And I was like, what the fuck is she saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a valid point. So I don't know if she wants a
So
new era.
we're sending a hat to
cap.
Nigeria then?
India, and along with a cashier's check for $3,600.
Yeah, you have some gift cards, don't you?
So maybe we won't send that overseas. I don't know. We'll see. It probably wouldn't fit in well over there. All right. So let's do a little break and get this week's weather with Matty G.
What's up, guys? Mac on Talk, the Chasing Daylight podcast. Looking forward to the weekend. I know a lot of folks enjoyed this past weekend with temperatures in the 60s and 70s with some overcast skies. It was really nice to have a break from the sunshine and especially those 90s. Once we transition to fall, looking forward to some cooler temperatures. However, this weekend, looking at a chance for showers, partly cloudy skies, and temperatures are back in the upper 80s, near 90 degrees. So it'll be closer to where it should be for this time of year, but definitely going to feel a lot warmer than this past weekend. But looks like it should be a pretty decent forecast with a slight chance for showers, otherwise staying dry.
Do do do. How about snow at Mount Charleston yesterday? Isn't that
Yeah.
wild?
Yeah, we're getting it.
Earliest snowfall on record. It's the apocalypse. It's coming.
Yeah.
It is coming.
Speaking of the apocalypse, I'm going to give one shout out to the one and only True Linkswear. Their new Dead Golfer collection just dropped. I
That
ordered a
all
pair.
black knit
Yeah.
is sick.
Did you order? Did you guys order?
No, I did not.
Not yet.
I ordered the knit threes.
I have
Super
to
excited for
choose.
them. All blacked out, black sole. Great for
Yeah.
work. Just to go straight up to Desert Willow or something, hit some shots. I'm stoked
Hey,
for them.
make
Can't wait
sure
to
you're
try the
wearing a
knit
collared.
threes.
Make sure you're wearing a collared shirt at Desert Willow.
I'm gonna wear jeans and a tank top, so we'll be fine.
No, they would not. They almost didn't let me go hit balls the other day because I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have
That's
a.
I mean that's one place where
Yep.
you can't do that shit.
No.
If you're gonna do that, go to Wild Horse.
I was like, it's a golf shirt. It's just not a collared golf shirt.
Yeah, but go check out the new drop from True Linkswear. Good shit. Obviously, we support their shoes. Amazing comfort and playability golf wise.
Yeah, that all black is sick.
Yeah.
Sick. All right, so this last week, Joe and I went out to the Shriners Open Media Day out at TBC Summerlin and checked out the new Club 360, which
Yeah. Amazing views.
pretty sick, man. It's I posted a video on our Instagram and also on Twitter or X or whatever it's called nowadays. Some amazing views, man. They put some grandstands around the first tee, so you can, from Club 360, you can look right down on top of the guys teeing off on one. A great view of 18.
It looks exactly like the Ryder Cup. It's sick.
Yeah. Well, maybe not as many seats, but
Well, it's like a mini Ryder Cup.
the view of 16 coming in is great. Another great view of hitting onto 17. There were some guys out there playing, and we saw them hitting shots. Looked good. And
Great
then
shots.
and then 18 coming in. Really good views. They also got some grandstands around number 10. Looks like a new platform for something on 9. The interview with Patrick Lindsay is on the podcast. So make sure, if you want to hear a little bit more about what's going on there, to check that out. He was great to have him on, and it was great to meet him face to face out there and see him along with our buddy Harry Hall.
Yeah.
Which
It's good to see Harry.
Yeah, he's a big man.
He's a unit. He is a unit.
You know, I'm talking to him like this.
I was talking to him like this. Matt's like this.
Joe's a little
I'm like
taller
this.
than me.
I like it.
But it was fun chatting with him. He's getting ready for the fall, the FedEx Fall, and we told him what Jimmy Walker said about how the FedEx Cup Fall is bullshit, and that kind of caught me off guard. I was like surprised that he said it was bullshit, and so we asked Harry about that, and he said, as a veteran, he probably doesn't like the fact that a guy that should be in Corn Ferry or should be trying to go back to Q school now has an opportunity to play in the fall and get back on tour, where that opportunity never was there for him for the 20 years he's been grinding out on tour. You got to play well to be on tour, and this is just giving those guys another opportunity that they didn't have before. Different take, which maybe that's why he was thinking it, but
talking to Harry, I mean, I haven't seen him or talked to him since we played a 5-iron that one time, and when we played a Paiute, but great dude, man. That dude is really good with like the kids, and like he's really good with talking to people, like seems super genuine. Love Harry Hall. Like, obviously we always root for him, right? We want to see him win.
Absolutely.
But he showed us a new putter in his bag that was sent that he wasn't probably supposed to show us, but we saw it, so we want to talk about it. And just like just to dive into his mind a little bit, like about his shoes and like the strokes gained putting wise with his shoes, and the dude's awesome, man. I love Harry. Like, will never not root for him I'm never going to root against him. He's awesome. And the goal, I think, the Chasing Daylight podcast goal for the rest of the year and into 2024 is we need to go play Coyote Springs with Harry Hall.
Yes, he has not played.
He's
He has
never
not
been there.
played
He
Coyote
didn't even know
Springs,
about it. I would love to see a PGA Tour player out at Coyote Springs.
That would be awesome.
just to see what they do.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Dude, speaking of Coyote Springs, we'll transition into that.
See,
Dan,
you see
Jeremy,
what I did there? You see?
yeah, great segue, Joe. Great segue. Trey, Dan, Jeremy, and myself played in Mitch's Revenge out at Coyote Springs. I think this was probably the easiest course setup in the history of Mitch's Revenge.
Oh, really?
It was not crazy pin locations on back of the tee box type stuff that you'd seen in the past. Shout out to Carl. Miss you out there, but totally understand why you're in Boulder City, being 2 minutes from your home. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys feel the same way that it wasn't set up crazy hard?
Yeah, it felt like a normal day at Coyote.
Really? Oh,
Yeah. It was windy, but the wind wasn't like ripping, punishing wind. It was just sometimes it was a little bit heavier than it was other times, but not like, bending the flag over pins.
yeah.
I
When I
didn't think
stepped
were
outside,
any.
obviously I didn't play. I had the kids this weekend, and I stepped outside and I saw it was a little windy. I was like, oh, the boys must be facing some wind today. So I figured it'd be windier out there than it was over by my house. But it's kind of disappointing because like nobody likes getting their teeth kicked in, right? But you go play Mitch's Revenge to get your teeth kicked in, and you want to get your teeth kicked in because that's why you go. And if it was a little softer than typical, that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
And it's the
we're-
first year without Carl. It's the first one without him. So
yeah, I didn't. There was, 14 was kind of a tricky pin location, but there's not a not tricky pin location on that hole.
for those that don't know, that are any new listeners, like Mitch's Revenge is like a greenskeeper's revenge. You make the pins as tough as possible. You're playing all the way from the back of the back of the back. Pins are on fucking nipples, and it's supposed to be as hard as possible. So some context there for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Dan, what did you think for the
Well, I played like
holes that
I
you
only played like
played?
7 holes. Actually, I think I just played 9, something like that.
Yeah, I think you were caddying after that.
I was not feeling it. I was on like about 2.5 hours of sleep. But as far as the golf goes, the golf course was not set up difficult. The pins were in very easy spots. Didn't really feel like Jeremy said. Didn't really feel like Mitch's. It felt like a day at it.
It didn't feel like a Mitch's at all.
That's a bummer.
I mean, they had the raffle took place in the clubhouse, and it was over when we were done. They're like, "This is who won." The shack.
Oh, I'm kidding.
The double wide.
Yeah. It was just there was no vibe. There was like when we got there was like nobody there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We started on 9A, and I don't think there was a group on 10A. And we caught, because I looked at the guys that were in front of us as we drove by them, and their cart said 11 and A. So there was, what did we catch them on, like the 8th hole, maybe 7th hole?
7th hole, I think.
And they were a 3-ball, and we waited the entire day on them. And there was a 3-ball in front of them, so it wasn't nearly sold out. I don't know.
I think they need to do something like that at Boulder Creek, because Boulder Creek is even longer than Coyote.
Oh yeah, it's one of the longest in the state.
I mean, the greens aren't as crazy, but
you could still have fun with it.
Yeah,
you can put some really nasty spots on that course.
Yeah,
You can have a tournament like that at a Paiute too. You could, like, if you tip the wolf course out and just cut the cups.
Oh my god!
Cut the cups.
Yeah.
Some really nasty spots. It'd be fun.
Yeah, there'd be some 120s.
So would you go back to play Mitch's Revenge?
Would I?
Or are you over it now?
I don't know. I mean, it's fun to do, but I mean, if
it felt like a normal day at Coyote, like, I mean, what are you doing it for? I mean, obviously, it's always a pleasure to play Coyote Springs,
well,
right?
Trey got a
It's
couple skins, I'm sure, or not skins, couple CTPs because he hit 2 really good shots. He had what 10 feet 4 inches on 2 different
Yeah.
holes, and oh, by the way, his new driver, somebody needs to go steal that thing, and so he can't hit it anymore because holy crap, is he smashing that?
Mm.
We had at least 3 drives of 360. No joke.
Wow.
No joke.
What did he get? What is it?
ESR2.
It's a yeah,
Oh, okay.
It's got a
and he
Ventus TR red in
fucking
it.
crushes it.
Interesting.
He
Okay.
was smashing it.
I mean, like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
just think if you're gonna go play an event, like you want it to be an event, and there's got to be like some character behind it. If it's like a thing like that, and if you guys aren't vibing with it, it kind of sucks because it's
Yeah, I
not
mean,
what
if
you expected.
I
Especially playing it in the past, like where it
Mhm.
is. Like I know Matt's probably seen the worst case scenario out there with the
oh
with
my
the flag
god,
like this. You know, I
90-degree
haven't experienced
flag.
that, but you know, you're going to play it for a reason, and if it doesn't live up to the expectations,
It
then,
almost feels like they forgot that they hosted that event. Because
Yes, that's
well, it's a new regime,
Well, I
so
mean,
yeah, I
I
can
get
see
that, but everything was so disorganized. Like when they're like, when you called to register, we're
Really?
like, well, we don't have that software up
That's
yet, so
true.
let me go ahead and take your
it
information.
was all
And then
jacked
I got
up.
an email of confirmation, and then like a week later, I got another one saying that I needed to register. I was like, dude, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Oh, and
Get your shit
Yeah.
together.
and then when I got in there and told him, hey, we're 9A, we're all here. He's like, oh, what's your guys' handicap?
Hmm.
You know, and so I got out my phone and I was just looking up everybody's index real quick because I got everybody saved on it that's in the VGN. And I was like, shit, I could have just told him, you know, 18, 12, 10,
Yeah,
12. They would have no way. It really disorganized.
Yeah. I don't want this conversation to take away from how great Coyote Springs is.
No,
So
Oh,
nothing
no,
on the
no,
golf
I mean, it's
course.
always a pleasure to play out there. But yeah,
And it did provide us with the opportunity to record the opposite hand challenge,
that's true. That's true.
which
Trey won.
if you haven't, yes, I don't know how Trey won that, but
I'm assuming Dan filmed your shot, right?
no, I think Trey did with the.
No, that was me.
Yeah.
Well, that was Dan's.
Oh,
I-
was that
I
you?
knew it. Of course, it
That
was
was me.
Dan. Yeah, of course.
I think that detoured people from voting for me because they thought that was me making that noise.
It was perfectly timed, Dan. Well done.
But that's how slow the play was. Not only did we do the opposite hand challenge, but then Dan went down and with a hybrid turned over was chipping them back to us, trying to get closest to us. And we still were waiting for them to clear the green on that hole. It was that bad.
Well, Mark said that he saw Dan winning that contest.
Oh yeah, it was Dan. It wasn't Trey.
Was
You're
it
right,
Dan?
Mark.
Okay.
Yeah. I posted the results, but
I think Trey, from the video, it looked like Trey's went the furthest. That's why I did that. But Dan had the best form.
I threw it the furthest. Mine went the furthest by that much.
Mine went the
Well,
furthest
you had
left.
the sound. Yeah. Yours did go left. Little slice on that puppy.
I
Or
had
draw.
true.
Draw.
I,
That's a
mine
draw.
was
well,
most
left-handed. That's a slice.
Mine was the most accurate. Mine went where I intended it to go. So that
you
should
also made the that took away from
No, I
your mouth for
didn't.
sure.
That was a real
It's
sound.
perfectly
That was there.
timed. So yeah.
That was. I didn't even know that was because I wasn't doing the audio. I was in the car. I was just then I got home and I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah. It was
Too
perfect.
funny though. Too funny. So hey, when's our next PGA Tour stop? Now that the Ryder Cup is over and we can kick
don't
off
know.
this fall season.
Sanderson Farms.
That's what I
Yeah.
say, yeah.
Jackson,
Uh,
Mississippi.
Is that this week or is it
This
In
week.
2
This
weeks.
week.
5th through 8th. Yeah.
Hey, so we get to
Wow.
make our picks for this event. Wow, that means I gotta look stuff up. So prepared.
Sanderson Farms is in Mississippi.
Yeah.
I always thought it was
The
not
deep
in
south.
Mississippi.
In the dirty.
It's the chickens.
MISSIPSSIPPPY.
Crooked letter
Is there a
I.
Y in there?
So the Black
No,
Desert
there's
tournament
not a Y.
next year, will that be the
Next
week
year.
after?
After Shrine, I think it's the week before Shriners.
Oh, before Shriners. Okay.
It's either before or after, but I think it's the week before.
Yeah, that's right. They go to Japan after the Shriners for the Zozo.
Oh, it is back in Japan, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
He was
yeah.
there last year.
All right, Joe, you got the odds up?
I'm trying to pull it up. It's going a little
Odds
slow.
up.
Sanderson, yes. Currently. View more. Okay, favorite. Ludwig Aberg, 11-1. Steven Yeager, 18-1. Eric Cole, 20-1. Emiliano Grillo, 25-1, along with Bo Hostler. Keith Mitchell, 28-1. Alex Smalley, 33-1. Lucas Herbert, 35-1. Colum Karen, 40-1, along with Adam Svensson. Garrick Higo, 40-1. Sam Ryder, Lee Hodges, Davis Riley, Davis Thompson, Akshay, King KH Lee, Ben Griffin, 45-1. Man, there's like Doug Gim, 50-1. Chad Ramey, 70-1. Will Gordon, 80-1. And no, that's not Cameron Young, that's Carson Young. All right, all the way at the bottom. Jeez, there's nobody playing in this. At the bottom, Ted Potter Jr., Greg Saunier, Chase Parker, 500-1.
Yeah, not a
Man, yeah.
great time to be in Mississippi, I guess. I don't know. All right, so Jeremy, I think you were the only person that had somebody
I'm looking for Harry.
that made the cut
I think
at
so.
the.
Joel Damon's in it, 200-1. Doc Redmond, 225-1. Ryan Moore, which we saw.
We saw Ryan Moore.
Oh, was he over
at
there?
TPC Summerlin.
Yeah. I was gonna go up to him and say, "Dude, I'm your biggest fan. Check out, I'm not wearing
Yeah.
your shoes."
I was like, that's Rimo. And Matt's like, that's not him. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's him. He's wearing like some new Trues, like, and he looks like Rimo. I mean, it's probably him. But we didn't say anything. Jimmy Walker's in it. He hates this.
He hates it too.
Little thing,
It's
175-1.
bullshit.
Zach Blair playing really well lately, 150-1. Sorry, we're going backwards because Troy Merritt, 100-1.
Right,
That's
you do
Trap
you.
Golf. Ches Reavy, 90-1. Cam Champ.
Hey,
who's
shout
won
out
this,
to
90-1.
Kurt, Joseph Bramlett's
yeah.
caddy. We met him out there at the media day, and great dude. It was fun talking with him about it. Told him we want to get him on the show and talk caddy stories. He's been looping for him this last year, and said he's coming off a wrist injury and he's looking to get back at it. He also is going to be looking forward to playing in some VGN events next year as well. So
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah,
He was really cool, man. A lot of energy, nice guy.
all right, Jeremy, who you picking?
Sam Ryder.
45-1.
Joe.
Fuck. I mean, it's like, how do you even pick?
Well, you say a name.
All these people have not played in like fucking 4 months, it feels like. Oh, Harry's in it. 90-1. Harry Hall.
There you go. That was easy. Triple H, 90-1.
I'm putting 8,000 on him real quick.
8,000.
Let's
All
go,
right.
Harry.
I'm going straight chalk on this. Straight chalk. Ludwig Aberg. Gonna get a win. FedEx Fall. Get his card.
He's tired.
He's got jet lag, bro.
Yeah,
That's all
he's
right.
tired.
Doesn't matter. He's young. He's stupid. Doesn't know any better. What's his odds?
10-1.
I think he was 11-1.
11-1.
Imagine going from Rome to Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, no hate in Jackson, Mississippi, but they couldn't be
But,
more different.
Yeah, food probably a little. Well, I don't know. Rome's got some good food.
Going Harry.
All right,
Let's go Harry.
Dan. Who you taking?
I'm gonna take Keith Mitchell.
28-1.
28-1 for the Mitch man. All right. That's our FedEx fall pick of the weeks.
I think you can find some sleepers
Picks
in
of
there
the week.
if you really know what you're doing. You can find the winner.
Yeah.
It's Keith Mitchell.
It's Keith
If
Mitchell.
you go on data golf or something and dive deep.
Yeah, there's some wow, there's a
lot.
Brazilian playing. Fred Biondi.
Speaking of picks, we need to hit up Cal and figure out what we're going to do for this next season, and we also need to
That'll
put
start
our
in
money
January.
together, and we need to send them a bottle of bourbon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If you guys want to give me $20-$30 each, I'll go buy it, ship it.
Oh yeah, I'll Venmo you. Just like I'll follow your pattern of Venmoing.
Well, I'll just go down to yeah, that's fine. As long as it's done before the event happens, that's fine. Because it happens before the event happens, always.
You got
But
anything else?
We're gonna get him a store pick at Corey's or something.
Yeah,
so
we'll get it.
have to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ship it on out to them. Or make them come get it. Maybe we should make them come get it.
Yeah.
I bet they would.
That'd be cool.
Give them a reason to come out here. Hey, honey, I got to go to Vegas to pick up a bottle of bourbon that I can buy at the corner store, but it's a special one.
Yeah, well, I mean, Cal was talking about like inviting the listeners into the next one, so I think that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We
Let's
need to
get as
figure
many
that
people
out.
in this as we can.
Yeah.
You know, and really embarrass ourselves for our horrible picks.
That's fine. Okay, it's just a game. Jack.
Dick hole for underwear, winning the picks. Oh, we were dying on the way back from Coyote. That's some funny stuff. Okay, so we got anything else? Anything else going on?
I don't think so.
We're gonna have some tickets for Club 360 to give away to a couple listeners. So stay tuned for that. We're also gonna have some tickets to give away for the Shriners if you're interested. I really want to let everybody know there's a link on the SNGA site, and I'll put it in the show notes as well, where if you click on it and you purchase full price tickets, a percentage of that goes to the Shriners. And not Shriners, Junior Golf here in Southern Nevada. There's a link on the website, or the link on the Patrick Lindsay episode. Also, it's a great way for you to support junior golf here in Nevada. The SNGA is partnered with them on that, and it's honestly a great way. We get media passes. So I told the Shriners team that, hey, we're the Chasing Daylight podcast. We'll be making a donation in the amount of what a general admission ticket would cost. So highly suggest anybody that wants to go to this event and see some great golfers at a great golf course, you're also supporting junior golf. So please do that. And enter our Southern Highlands raffle, please. Come on. It's your odds right now are really good. I know everybody keeps telling me, quit telling people because I want to win, but it's an awesome opportunity. And that's
look,
all I got
if you live in Las Vegas, it's a no-brainer, right? It's a chance to play so high. If you've never played so high, 4 years ago, before I had ever played,
had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, like 4 years ago, I could only dream of playing so high. For a potential raffle situation that is very reasonable, and for any exceeds of profit or anything goes to the Southern Nevada Golf Association or juniors.
Junior golf, SNJGA.
Yeah.
Junior golf, yep.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, you could write the shit off, right?
I'm sure.
You-
Depends
I
on how
mean,
good your tax guy is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure your tax guy wouldn't care, but it's a no-brainer. Join in. Odds are very good right now. Jump into it. Love to play with you.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, you'll be happy to know the Chasing Daylight putter made an appearance at Coyote Springs.
Nice. Did the Chasing Daylight punk band play out there too?
Maybe. Hey, it's October.
It was formed.
It's Rocktober.
Joe is crapping on the pink CDP logo that I threw up on Instagram today.
We need a poll, right?
It's
need a
pink
poll.
October. We need a poll.
So if the Instagram
Hey, it's
looks
not
a little
sticking
different,
around. The other one will be back.
yeah, if the
Maybe I'll
Instagram
just make
looks a
the
little
other one
different,
pink.
yeah, if the Instagram looks a little different for October, it's because we're starting a punk band or we've dabbled in it. We've thought about it.
I want you to send me the logo that makes you think of that, so I know what you're talking about, because I have no clue what you're talking about.
It's a trigger. I don't know.
Is it that
I don't know where
shade
comes
of
from,
pink?
but it triggered me. Yeah, it's like Blink 182, like Blink CDP. I don't know. I just thought about it. I mean, it's like,
Wrap this up. I got some TV to watch before I go to bed.
All right. Thanks for tuning in this week. We appreciate you listening. Tell your friends, tell your family. Matt's got to go watch Project Runway currently. He's got to catch up.
No, I don't watch that nonsense.
Stay tuned for the EP coming soon. CDP on the guitars and drums, bass. We're killing it, obviously. Hope you enjoyed your Ryder Cup. We got Sanderson Farms, probably the biggest tournament of the year. So enjoy yourself. Go Harry.
If you have a Ryder Cup hangover, enjoy the Sanderson.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, man. We'll see you guys next week. Appreciate it. Later.